Hello again and welcome to Jarl's Favour Dev Log number 2. It's been a week since my last one. I don't get to work on this too often. I've got a job, so I do this in my spare time, being a couple evenings a week and one of my days off on the weekend. But I think I've achieved a bit in the past week, so let's have a quick look. I've gotten some height sensitive texture put in for some rock faces. Doesn't look too fancy now, but it's more a guide of where I'm going to put some static meshes, some rock meshes. And I've got it to pretty much match up that whenever you see this rock, it's at an angle that the player can't walk at. So it's also a visual guide. I should have some in some steeper areas. Here and there, should be coming up soon. Like here's a little bit. So that just means if the player sees that, one, it's a bit different texture, just breaks up the landscape a little, shows what all this soil is growing on, and also indicates to the player that it's too steep for them. There are mountains over this way in the fog that are just covered in that material, so that was good. I got that achieved. I don't really, materials are new to me, so it took a little bit of figuring out how to mess with a pre-established landscape material and put a new layer in like that blends and only shows on heights that I want it to, but I think it'll allow me to move more forward, I think, and get some mountains happening without having to worry about painting them myself. And I'll do the same soon with a snow layer for the top of mountains. What else have I done? So let's go to where the player is living. Just mess with fire a little bit. Got some AI, pretty basic rudimentary AI happening at the moment. It won't be the AI that I end up using. I need it to be a little more sophisticated, but it's pretty cool for the time being. They're just small animal behavior pack from the marketplace, I think. I'll either modify it or just come up with my own AI, but it's given me good insight into how machine states work. So I've put it on a few different creatures here. There's 2 deer here. They behave the same way. I've got this chicken and this fox and there's a rabbit somewhere. Let's have a look at how it behaves. Okay, so somewhere we can see in the distance those deer. I've got a debugger showing their movement path at the moment. They're a little bit derpy in the way they move. I'll either have to create a new movement or animation status for them where they're just not running but walking, and when the player gets near I'll have them run. But currently they're just set to run away from the player. I've got one smarter than the other, so you can get closer to one and further than the other. I'll randomize those figures so the animals are all a little bit less predictable. But the idea is you'll be able to hunt these animals, especially if you chase them to the edge of the map, which won't happen because you won't be allowed to go near the edge of the map. So the animal could just disappear from you in that regard. Also there's a fox and a chicken. They behave a little bit better. They're smaller, they suit the terrain better, I think. There's that chicken, let's catch it. I don't have the debug on that one, so it looks a little more natural in the undergrowth. Runs slower than the deer. I managed to implement some footstep sounds. I just need to find the right wave files or audio files for the feet now. I'm not happy with the sounds that are occurring, but at least I've got it working. Here's that cliff face materials, a Megascan material. Again, occurring just at the angle that the player cannot walk up, which is a little less steep than that. So they can walk up here, as we can see, the mulch showing. Try to walk here, and they can't. That was just a bit of tweaking. There's not any mesh blocking them or anything. It's just I've managed to set the angle of the material to only show the same angle that the player, almost the same angle the player can't walk up. So there's a tiny bit of rock that they can climb on there, so it's not too unnatural. Head back to the camp. Put in some forest sounds, as you can hear. That's all 3D. They need a lot of tweaking. I need to set them to time of day and weather state as well. Got some Niagara effects going on here with these fireflies. They will be a gameplay element. Again, I'm trying to make it anything you can see exists with a gameplay element, well, except actually maybe for the trees, even though they're everywhere. There won't be, I don't plan on there to be wood collecting or that kind of crafting. A bit of cooking food is about as complex as it'll get, I think. Messed a bit more with materials, put a path material down here. Not sure if those Niagara leaf effects were on last time in my last dev log, but I do have those, as well as some bird effects up there. They all have to be dynamic, they're just there permanently. I'll need to set them to randomly show. See if we can find a little more of that steep rock. And then next up, so the AI, I'm not happy with it, but I've got an idea of how it works now. So again, I'm learning as I go, and this is only a conceptual build, so I haven't even started on the real build yet. That should be happening soon. I've been messing around in Gaia on a new landscape. And yeah, then I'll also going to, on this conceptual build, still have to implement health, temperature, and hunger, stamina as well. So you can get cold, you'll run out of stamina, you get hungry, and you can lose health. And maybe oxygen, I'm not sure yet, for swimming, so how long you can hold your breath for. Those are the main things I've got left to go, as well as an interact system where you can interact with objects, mostly being mushrooms. Not too many steep things around this way, that's okay. I know it's working. And I'm happy with the effect of it as well, the subtle rock showing through on the steeper areas. I then need to change the procedural grass spawning to spawn only on the edge of that rock, not right in the middle, because it kind of finds, so all this grass made of these leaves and twigs and things down here find their way, and these ferns find their way up the mountain on top of rock, which looks a little unnatural. Let's have a look at what the FPS is doing. I haven't upped the memory for the shaders, the shader pool, so that's good. Seems to be going alright there. Yeah, we're in the 40s, that's fine. Once again, the music is my own little track. Temporary, I'll be making an entire album's worth, and I'll probably sell the soundtrack with the game if I get that far, or give it away for free with the game. So that's it for a week's worth of work. Not a lot, but but I'm still moving forward adequately, I think. I'm pleased with the results I've achieved, because a lot of it is just learning materials, learning state machines, animation blueprints, those sort of things. I also have a tiny, very subtle effect on the footprint, dust kicking up. Not that, it's on a different material just to make sure it's working, but on the ground here, you can't really see it. I need to pull the camera out a little. There's a nice soft dust billow just to help connect the character to the ground. Here's some of this steep rock, which, as you can see, you can walk up some of it, but it essentially tells the player this area might be a bit too steep to traverse. But I need to change the rock type. These mossy ones are okay, but I'll probably put less mossy rocks on the grass that spawns on this material. Yep, there we go. And as you can see, these logs and the big rocks don't really fit. It just doesn't quite sit right. For the most part, where I see this material, I'll be putting static meshes of cliffs and rock walls around anyway. I'll still keep some of this more gentle slope because it feels and looks quite natural. Again, this was a landscape I made in Gaia, so it's got water flow and erosion in a alpine sort of biome build. That is about it, I think. I'll just put a quick little key switch to turn the music if I need to, turn the music off if I need to. And yeah, that's a result of my past week's work, and I'll probably do this again in 1 week's time and see where I'm up to there. Hopefully with a bit of a survival game stuff going on, being health, hunger, stamina, temperature, and possibly breath. I'm thinking breath because I wouldn't mind a few little underwater caves that you have to swim through. They're always fun. I don't mind those. Good to explore. And I don't think putting a breath system in will be too difficult. I've already created a stamina system in another little conceptual test I did prior to this one, so I know how it works. The question is, will I build my own or use a marketplace one? And I'm probably leaning toward my own, so we'll see how I go. Alright, Jarl's Favour, Dev Log number 2. See you in the next one.